Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Saraswatye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Akhanda-mandalakaram vyaptam yena characharam tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Ajnanatimirandhasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Let us take in Shivashakti in 5 deep breaths. Om Shivashakti Om. 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 Tvam Brahma Srishtikarta cha Tvam Vishnu Paripalakah Tvam Shiva Shivadonantah Sarva Samharakarakah Tvamishvaro Gunatito Jyotirupha Sanatanah Prakriti Shascha Prakriti Paraha. नानारूप विधाता त्वं भक्तानां ध्यानहेतवे येषु रूपेषु यत्प्रीतिः तत्तद्रूपं बिभर्षि च. So, in the last session, we really went through the feeling of a bhakta who is conversing with Triloki Guru, Shiva, who is all pervading, who is beyond the cosmos, and the whole cosmos is within him, which is consciousness. To transact with him, in the previous shloka, Bhakta requested, "O Shiva, if at all I had the position of Surya, Vayu, Brahma, Indra, and Vishnu, I would have given you that cosmic level puja. When you are all pervading, so magnificent. With this limited body, how can I pray you, worship you the way I should worship with Panchavida puja? So give me that capacity in me." So in a nutshell, Bhakta is pleading with Shiva to make him go from human level to Devata level, so that he can worship Shiva in that cosmic level. When I say this, it reminds me of Chamakam in Sri Rudra. Sri Rudram is recited with great involvement even by sannyasis, sadhakas, realized persons, and all bhaktas of all levels. How come? How is it possible? So when we have come across this shloka, we can understand when we are reciting Rudram, especially the Chamaka, the sannyasi who doesn't need anything, still he is asking for in detail the whole list of things which are needed to lead the life comfortably with joy in this world. Why does he need to recite this Rudram? Because the sannyasi for whom Vasudhaiva Kutumbaka, the whole Vishwa is his Kutumba, his family. So in that way, he has become Vishwa Manava. In that sense, on behalf of all Jivatmas, the realized souls, great sannyasis are all worshipping through Chamaka. See, when we are reciting Chamaka, I think one should grow from within. And when we are listing so many things, give me that, give me this, give me that, give me this. It is for the whole humanity. So a person who has the mindset as Vishwamanava, the universal person. Only then reciting Chamaka makes sense. And we should be highly thankful, grateful to Shankaracharya for opening our eyes towards understanding the cosmic magnificence of Shiva's, I can't say incarnation, his manifestation as the whole cosmos. To worship him, even I need to grow. So, having gone through this feeling, the next thing comes to the bhakta's mind is to see what type of Triloki Guru he is. He is showing so many characteristics of Ishvara as well. So he starts wondering about Shiva, who is Triloki Guru, Ishvara, and Bhaktavatsala at the same time. So let us see the next one. Nalam va paramopakarkamidam tvekam pashunam pate pashyan kupshigatan characharaganan bahyasthitan rakshitum sarvamartyapalayanaushadham अतिज्वालाकरं भीकरं निक्षिप्तं गरलं गलेन गलितं नोद्गीर्णमेव त्वया. So one here is wondering, O Pashunam Pate, the Lord of all Jivatmas, being the Lord Pati of all Pashu, how he feels the responsibility, that is said in this. Isn't it enough for just this one upakara which you have done to the whole cosmos? Nalamba, isn't it enough? Paropakarakam tvekam, just one, ekam, tu ekam tvekam. Just this one upakara, the help which you have rendered to the whole Vishwa as Pashupati. Is it not enough? What did he do? Pashyan kukshigatan charachara ganan bahyasthitan rakshitu. When they were churning the milky ocean to get the amrita from that milky ocean, Pashyan kukshigatan. Kukshi means the womb, belly. Looking at, taking care of all the jivas which are in the belly, as well as bahyasthitan, who are outside, characharaganan, and also living and non-living things which are there within that kukshi, rakshitum, to protect them. Looking at, feeling the responsibility of all living and non-living beings residing in the belly as well as outside Shiva's belly, to protect them. Sarvamartya palayana aushadham. Amartya, Sarva Amartya. Amartya means the Amaras, Devatas. All Devatas who are all frightened out of fear, they were all running here and there. Palayana, they were trying to get away from the scene of that churning. For that, as a remedy, Aushadha, Ati Jwalakaram Bhikaram. Ati Jwalakaram, that is fuming flames, which were really terrifying. What is that? The poison. Kshvela, Garala, Bhikaram, Nikshiptam, Garalam, Gale. And to protect both the living and non-living beings inside the belly and also who are present outside. And all devatas running away from the scene. To protect all of them from this fuming flames of fiery poison, Garala, poison. Gale Nikshiptam, you held it in your neck. Gale, in your neck, you held it. Na Galitam, you didn't swallow it. No Girnam, you didn't even spit it out. Evatvaya, like this it happened by you. So, what can we understand by this? Shiva was the only one who could handle that poison, which was Ati Jwalakara, Bhikara, Garala, the poison, from which everyone was frightened. And it was spreading all over quickly and easily affecting everyone around. So Shiva, looking at all the jivatmas, living and non-living beings in his body, his kukshi is the whole universe. To protect all of them. And if he spit it out, he didn't swallow it to protect everything which is within his womb. He didn't spit it out also because if he spit it's out, it is going to affect all devatas who are all there, assembled there, even the Rakshasas who were assembled there. It will affect them. So what did he do? He held it in his neck. So this shows his extreme compassion. His way of protecting is with lots of compassion. Pashyan kukshigatan charachara ganan bahyasthitan rakshitum. So here what can we understand by this? This garala, this poison, is any negativity in the world or in the individual. That poison should not be swallowed or make it our own so that it burns our own self. Now we can spit it out because it is going to affect all the people around. So whatever negativity is there, it should be just held. In Kannada, there is one saying, Bisi tuppa nungakilla ugalakilla. That means the hot ghee pure ghee, which is very hot, it can't be swallowed because it's going to burn the whole thing. It can't be spit out because it is very expensive, precious, valuable. In the same way, poison which Shiva held in his throat. What else can we understand by this? How can we make it part of our life? One thing, negativity, we have to hold back. The negative thing, when we recognize it, it should be just held back. We should not personalize it and become the victim of that poisonous negativity. Nor spit it out because unnecessarily we are spreading it to people. That is Daivatva, Ishwaratva. For the sake of others, holding back the negativity, the poison. When we think of Kukshigatan, Charachara Ganan, Kukshigatan, all the Jivatmas in his Kukshi, when the whole cosmos is within him, belly, what else can be there beyond that? What does he mean? Bahyasthitan, who are outside. The whole cosmos is called Brahmanda. So we are all Jivatmas are in that Brahmanda, in the belly. So that is understandable. Bahyagatan is one who has come out of that hold of Brahmanda, which is Dvija, when he has understood what the Brahman is, a realized person. So even to protect the realized persons, all the Jivatmas, the Visha, which is the ignorance, avidya. Avidya is the primary ignorance that he is holding in the middle. It cannot be destroyed totally. Ignorance cannot be destroyed totally. Because that ignorance, avidya, is there, the world is existing. Got the point? Because the ignorance, I am the body, I am the mind, is working so strongly. I am using all the five senses, transacting with the objects which are projected, and the world is so alive, every second changing, moving. All these things are happening because of the ignorance. Bahyasthitan are the realized souls who have understood what it is, what the ignorance is, and they're outside. So Shiva is the consciousness who is pinning down that ignorance, because of which all the Jivatmas are surviving, and they are trying to come out of that ignorance which is making us pinned into this Brahmanda. The realized persons, even they are protected by this Shiva, the consciousness, by not allowing the ignorance to touch them or disturb them. So in that way, when we understand, Pashyan kukshigatan charajara ganan bahyasthitan rakshitum. That is how consciousness is taking care. How beautiful it is. Sarvamartya palayana, amartya. There are amaras without any death. But still, they are all running around so much with fear. Palayana. So, Shiva, the consciousness, is the one who is controlling, holding. That is why even Dakshinamurti, Muyalaka, he is pinning him down. That Muyalaka is ignorance, avidya. He is taking care. Even in our life, when the churning of life starts, it becomes venomous. We do go through so many situations which are so poisonous. Without allowing us to succumb to that situation, it is the consciousness, Shiva, who graces the knowledge to tackle the situation. Isn't it? ज्वालोग्र सकलामरति भयदः क्ष्वेल कथं वा त्वया दृष्टः किं च करे धृतः करतले किं पक्वजम्बूफलम् जिह्वायां निहितश्च सिद्धकुटिका वा कण्ठदेशे भृतः किं ते नीलमणिर्विभूषणमयम् शम्भो महात्मन् वद. O Shambho, Mahatman. See the way he is addressing Shambho, who is all auspicious. Mahatman, he is Paramatma. Vada, please tell us. Jwalograha Sakalamara Ati Bhayadaha. The is to give. That which gives even all amaras, all devatas. And it is the kshvela, which is poison, which is jwalograha, which is fuming, spreading so fast like jwala, the flames of fire, the poison. It is easily spreading everywhere, causing the terror and its heat, burning heat everywhere. Jwalograha sakalamara ati bhayadaha. That is important. Even the devatas who are amaras are into ati bhaya. They are also too frightened about this poison. What to do? It is spreading so fast. It is burning everything. How to control it? What to do? Where can we go? Where can we escape? Katham va tvaya. How could you? Drishtaha. How could you even see it? All are getting away from it. But Shiva is seeing that kshvela, the poison, visha, which is coming out of that milky ocean because of churning. Kim cha kare dhritaha karatale. And how could you further hold it in your hand? Kim pakva jambu phalam. What? Is it ripened jambu phala? The purple fruit. Is it that? As though it is a ripened fruit, you are holding it in your hand. First, how could you see it? Secondly, how could you hold it in your hand? Jihvayam nihitascha, holding it in your mouth. Jihva, on your tongue. You are holding it as though Siddha Gutika, as though it is the pill prepared by Siddha doctors. Is it the medicine which are holding it on the tongue? Va or Kantha deshe bhrita kimte Neelamani Vibhushanam? Is it an ornament which you are wearing it as though it is Neelamani, the blue sapphire? So do you think that Visha is that you are holding it here? What is it? Shambho, Mahatman, Vada, tell. So what is it? First of all, the poison is terrifying. Very quickly it is spreading like Jwala, and it is Ugra as well. And it is causing fear even in Devatas. Sakalamara Atibhaya Katham va Tvaya Drishtaha. See, when the mind is imbalanced, for a person whose mind is imbalanced, he very easily becomes the victim of that poison. So, poison in the sense, any negativity in life. So, even to look at it, he feels fearful. Even to handle it, he feels fearful. Even to gulp that negativity and let me just gulp it. Even that is difficult. But Shiva, who is balanced Ishvara, he is seeing it, holding it as though it is a fruit. And he is just taking the poison on his jihwa, on his tongue. Meera bhai, Vishika pyala Rana ji ne bheja. Pivat Meera hansi re. She drank the poison with smile on her lips. For her, everything was prasada of Krishna. So she drank with that smile on her lips. She didn't see that as poison. So here Shiva is looking at the Garala, Kshwela. Means what? Just by his drishti, he is handling that negativity. He is taking away the problems by looking at it. In some other cases, he takes it into his control, in his hands, and protects. In some other, he makes it his own and swallows it and makes and protects the people, the problems are solved. So, what we can understand by this is one has to have the balanced mind to handle the situations which could be positive or negative. When the mind is fixed on Shivashakti, within me is also Shiva. Whatever I am seeing outside is also Shiva. When that is the understanding, if that is the life, certainly the poisonous kind of situations will also become like Amrita. नालं वा सकृदेव देव भवतः सेवानतिर्वानुतिः पूजा वा स्मरणम् कथाश्रवणमप्यालोकनं मादृशाम् स्वामिन्न स्थिरदेवता अनुसरणायासेन किं लभ्यते का वा मुक्तिरित कुतो भवति चेत् किं प्रार्थनीयं तदा. Here, Shankaracharya is taking us one more step ahead by telling us how to surrender to that Shiva by asking the question to Shiva. Nalam va sakradeva deva, O Deva, isn't it enough? Sakradeva, just once. Bhavata seva, doing your seva. Is it not enough? Natirva, or bowing down to you, doing danda pranama to you once. Is it not enough? Nutihiva, or praising you, singing your stotra once. Is it not enough? Pujava, or doing, worshipping you just once. Nalamva, Sakradeva, is it not enough? Smaranam, or contemplating on you, thinking of you. Katha Shravanam, api, or even just once listening to your katha, your story. Alokanam, or looking at you just once. Sakradeva, Nalam, is it not enough? Madrisham, for people like me. So what is the question? Madrisham, for people like me, is it not enough? Just once doing your seva, or going down to you once, or praising you once, or doing puja once, smaranam, contemplating on you once, katha shravana, listening to your story once, alokana, seeing you, looking at you. It can be through the eye of the mind. Is it not enough? Swamin, Na sthira devata, na sthira devata. O Swami, na sthira devata. Sthira devata means one who is stable and constant. That can be only consciousness, Shiva. He is sthira devata. Nastira Devata are all other gods who are not sthira at all. During Mahapralaya, they all vanish. So that sthira Devata is Sadashiva, Paramashiva. Swamin Nasthira Devata Anusarana Ayasena Kim Labhyate. What do we get by Anusarana, by following, becoming the fan of all these unstable devatas? What do I get? What's the benefit? Kava muktiritah, other than doing one of the ways of being in touch with you, Shiva. It can be through seva, nati, nuti, puja, smarana, katashravana, alokana, any one of these. Other than any of these, is there anything else which can give me mukti? Kava muktiritah, itah, other than that. Kuto bhavati chet. And what else can happen? Nothing. By praying that Nasthira Devata. Kim, if that is the case, chet, Kim Prarthaniyam Tada, then what's the use of doing the Prarthana to those Nasthira Devata? So, what we can understand by this is, for liberation, with one way or the other, be in touch with consciousness, which is your own self. That is Shiva. Other than that, everything else is temporary. No point in taking the help of temporary support. When we have understood Shiva, the consciousness, is the one who is eternally stable, sthira, hang on to him. How to hang on to him? For that, seva, service of that Shiva. When the whole manifestation is that Shiva, taking care of, responding to the need is one way of seva. Nati, to totally surrender. That surrender should also be complete surrender, complete seva. Seva with any self-motive, self-centered seva is not the one he is talking here. Seva with total understanding that whatever is done through this being is also taking place because of Shiva's grace, and you're just doing it. You're just there and doing the seva. Nati, total surrender. I am not there anymore. I have surrendered body, mind, anthakarana, everything. If that type of surrender, nati, is done, it can be done only once, isn't it? How many times can you keep on surrendering? Then it is not surrender at all. So just once, Sakradeva, just once surrender properly, totally, complete. Nutihi. Nuti means praising. That praising should also come from the whole being. Whole being. When you admire him from the whole being, it means you have become one with him by admiring, because you have understood what that Shiva is and you are admiring. So admiring comes only after one feels one with Shiva. So that type of one nuti, is it not enough? Puja, offering just one flower, Chetas, that mind. I am offering you my own self as that lotus. Is it not enough once we do it? Smaranam. Once we do the smaranam completely, that smarana stays forever, and its essence, the essence of that smarana, will also keep giving the sweetness, like amalaka, the gooseberry, which keeps giving the sweetness after a long time. Like that, even smarana will give that happiness of Shiva. Is that not enough? Katha Shravana. All the stories of Shiva are nothing but personification of the facts of what Shiva is. So it is the Tantra Shastra which has personified the facts, the phenomena which are taking place in the world, are personified, characterized as story they are told. So with intention, when we listen to it and understand the purport and the very deep essence of that story, even if we do it once, if it sticks to the mind, the core of mind, is it not enough? Alokana. Being able to see, visualize that Shiva in the mind. Is it not enough? Nalamba Sakradeva. And if all these things, va means or, any one of these, if we follow wholeheartedly, it will give the mukti. That is what Shankaracharya is guiding us towards. But it should be with full capacity. Like I have given you the example, matchbox and the matchstick. With the right combination, just one click is enough to bring out the fire. In the same way, just one good, complete work, if it is done, any one of these methods, if we follow, will give us the mukti. It will push us towards the mukti. When this is the case, what else is there for us to do the prarthana for asthira? All the devatas who are also running behind that Shiva for their own safety, protection. What is the use of that? What is the benefit? Kim labhyate? Swami, Nasthira devata anusarana ayasena. Ayasena with great effort. Ayasena. Anusarana. To follow them, to worship them, putting so much of effort. What do we get? What's the benefit? That is what Shankaracharya is telling. So, I would say the very first step would be whenever we are doing puja or whenever we are reciting anything, put the whole concentration, mind, heart, and love in doing that. We have to love what you're doing. Then automatically it will lead us towards loving it more and go one more step. So that we have to follow when we understand this shloka. And also when we start doing puja of different gods in one go, it is like digging the well in so many places. Few times dig in one place. Oh, I'm not finding the water. Dig another hole, another hole, another hole. So if we keep on digging too many holes with no depth in it, we won't get water at all, for sure. But if we dig one place thoroughly, deep enough, we have to get water there. So in the same way, instead of holding on to Nasthira Devata, so many are there. They all give what we want. But even the phala is also Nasthira. Instead of that, hang on to the feet of Shiva, who is consciousness, the very source of the whole manifestation, which we are all experiencing. And that too, that Shiva is not anywhere outside. He's very much within. He's very much within. So that also we should start making it stronger and stronger as we proceed in becoming chemi with Shiva, friendly with Shiva. So he's very much within. Just close the eyes, go within and feel him. He's very much within as Atma Jyoti, the best companion who is always giving. If we go within, he's always giving happiness, nothing else. Happiness, peace. So it's a built-in prayer. Kim brumastava sahasam pashupate kasyasti shambho bhavaddhairyam chedrishamatmanah sthitiriyam jamyaihi katham labhyate bhrashyadeva ganam trasam muniganam nashyat prapancham layam pashyan nirbhaya eka eva viharatyananda sandro bhavam. Kim brumastava sahasam, O Pashupate. What can we say about your sahasa, your valor, your dhairya? Kasyasti shambho bhavat dhairyam. Who else has your kind of courage? Chedrisha atmana sthitiriyam. Who else can have that atma sthiti, That is the selfhood which you are experiencing. The selfhood. Atmasthiti. Selfhood. Think of it. Atmanasthiti iyam. This kind of selfhood. Anyaihi katham labhyate. Others who can get it. Means what? Kim brumastava sahasam pashupate. How can we explain or even talk about your valor, sahasa? Kasyasti shambho bhavat dhairyam. Who else can have dhairya which you are showing? O Shiva, Shambho. Che drishamatmanas thitiriyam. Cha anyehi katham labhyate. And who else can get that atmanasthiti, the sthiti of your atma, which is experiencing the selfhood. There's nothing else, just the self. Who can get that? Bhrashya Devaganam. All devatas who have manifested, Bhrashya, they all fall from their position. Bhrashya Devaganam. All, the whole gamut of devatas, they all fall from their position. Trasan Muniganam. The whole gamut of rishis, sages, Muni, Trasan, they all become anxious, fearful. Nashyat prapancham layam. And the whole world, which manifested so beautifully, Nashyat gets destroyed and it becomes annihilated. Pashyan nirbhaya eka eva. And you are the only one who is looking at what is happening during Mahapralaya. Eka eva, you alone. Viharati, you alone are lighting around, moving around happily. That too, what kind? Ananda Sandro. Ananda Sandra. Sandra means it is complete, total, intense. Nothing else is there. It is like a 24 karat gold. It is not 22, nor 18, nor 10, nothing. No alloyed happiness. Just pure bliss, which is ghana. Ghana means intense. Nothing else is in that. That is Sandra. Ananda Sandra. With that Ananda, complete Ananda. Eka eva viharati. You alone are moving around with so much of joy. And that joy and that movement looks like Ananda Tandava to the eyes of Shakti, who is witnessing him. It comes in Lalita Sasnam also. So, what does it mean? Shiva is the very source, which is the third circle, which is ever expansive and which is the base, foundation, substratum, the very source of the second circle, which is Vishwa. And in that there are so many Jivatmas as first circle. So when he is the very source, the third circle, when the second circle is destroying and getting annihilated, who else can withstand that? No one. Drashya Devaganam. Because there is no any responsibility or padavi when the whole faculty is destroyed. What else is there for them to do? So all devas just fall down from their positions. No more he will be Brahma, no more he will be Vishnu, no more he will be Rudra, no more he will be Isha. So like that, Kubera, he also becomes Nirdhani. Like this, Brashya Devagana, Trasan Munigana. Muni is the one who is all knowledgeable and with great discipline. He knows what Mahapralaya is, what this universe is. In spite of having that knowledge, when the Mahapralaya happens, even those munis, Trasan, they become anxious and fearful, frightened. Prapancha Nashyati. And you are the one Nirbhaya, without any fear, courageously, like a Sahasi, valorous person. You are looking at the whole thing happening. And when everything is done, you are just moving around with Sandrananda, which is intense, complete bliss. So, that selfhood, that is what he gets into. There is nothing else, there is no mind or the five senses or the objects. Nothing is there. Just Atma is there. And it is that Atma, Chit, which is filled with Ananda, Chidananda. Nothing but Chidananda. Chidananda. Which is Ananda Sandra or Sandrananda. So that is what he is going through. Sudham Apyasmadhya, that we have studied in Lahari. So here he is referring it to Shiva. So what can we take from this shloka? First, we have to understand what Shiva is, what his thairya is, what his dhairya is, how he is enjoying that selfhood, Sandrananda. And when we try to visualize and understand that, next, that Shiva is very much within me. That Shiva is here. I am that Shiva. Because I am living in this body with five senses, let me go through any situation as Pralaya and handle it as Shiva, who is Sahasi, Dhairya, and Atmanasthiti. So that point, if we start making it stronger and stronger by His grace, we are moving in the direction of Shiva's steps. Isn't it? योगक्षेम धुरन्धरस्य सकल श्रेय प्रदोद्योगिनो दृष्टादृष्टमतोपदेशकृतिनो बाह्यान्तरव्यापिनः सर्वज्ञस्य दयाकरस्य भवतः किं वेदितव्यं मया शम्भो त्वं परमान्तरङ्गैति मे चित्ते स्मराम्यन्वहम्. योगक्षेम धुरन्धरस्य सकल श्रेय प्रदोद्योगिनम्. Shiva, Shambho, who is Durandhara, means always inspired, always involved in taking care of the yoga and kshema. Sakala Shreya Pradodyogino, and who is immersed in showering the Shreyas, Sakala Shreyas, all types of Shreyas, the auspiciousness, what is needed, what is lacking in everyone, that He keeps giving us, taking us in the marga of Shiva. Drishta Drishta Matopadesha Kritino, one who is teaching, guiding, showing us different paths which are seen, unseen, known, unknown, worldly and beyond worldly. All knowledge He is giving as Upadesha. Bahyantara Vyapinaha. Shiva is within all individuals and He is outside as well. That means He is Antaryami as well as Sarvavyap. Bhyantar Vyapina. Sarvagnya. He is all knowing because He is all pervading. He knows. He is Sarvagnya. Dayakara. He is with high compassion, limitless compassion. Bhavata kim veditavyam maya. When these are all your nature, innate nature, adjectives, plus points, all put together in Shiva. What else is there for me to plead with you? There's nothing for me to ask you. Shambho Tvam Paramantaranga iti me chitte smarami anvaham. Every moment, every day, I am in my chitta, in my mind, in my inner mind. I am thinking, I'm contemplating, I'm knowing, I'm understanding. You are that Parama Antaranga. You are that Antaranga of me. You are very much there in me, amusing me, making me joyful, entertaining me. Antaranga. Being in my Anthakarana. You are that Antaranga who is giving me the joy, eternal happiness. Knowing that I am always remembering you. I am always contemplating on you. When I realize, when I know that you are the one who has taken the responsibility and you are immersed in giving both yoga, kshema. Yoga is the union of the desired object with the person. For example, I like to have a beautiful car of particular color. I am desiring it and I need it for my work, but I don't. I have the desire. When I'm able to buy the car, bring it to my house, then I have the yoga of that car, oneness with that car. So, what a person lacks, which is needed in him, that yoga of the union of the object with the person, he graces because he is immersed in taking care of that yoga. Is it enough if I have the yoga of those objects or the desired things? It has to stay with me, right? If I bring the car from the showroom, within one day, if I lose it, or if I meet with an accident and lose the car, is it of any good? No. So, kshema, retaining it, protecting it is also needed. So that is why we run to the temple the minute we get car or scooter, whatever it is, because we want the kshema of that object. I want to retain it. So, yoga kshema dhurandharasya. He is the one who is immersed in taking care of both yoga and kshema. Sakala shreya pradodyogino. First, he is giving all the things which are needed to lead the life, which can be prayers. That means to live comfortably in this world, he is giving all the things needed. And he is also taking care of kshema of those objects. Next, he is also taking care of sakala shreya. He is giving all the shreyas. That means what? Once he gives all the objects, shreyas is that which takes the mind from prayers and move towards the spiritual growth. That means Shiva makes the mind come out of that prayers and look what is really needed in him. Take it up and proceed in that path. That is Shreyas. What is needed, what is good in the long run. Eternally, if one has to get the bliss, what is needed? That is Shreyas path. He gives that Sakala Shreya Pradodyogina. He is immersed in giving that Sakala Shreyas as well. Drishta Drishta Matopadesha Kritino. And he is giving the Upadesha of both secular knowledge as well as the spiritual knowledge, which are known and unknown, drishta, adrushta, seen, unseen, known, unknown, worldly knowledge, beyond the world knowledge. Both he is giving. So when you are doing all these things, you are completely taking care of me. Only thing is, I have to acknowledge it, surrender to you. That's all I can do. What else is there for me? Kim veditavyam. What else is there for me to plead with you? You are doing everything. See, when we recognize that, how complete we become trupti, content. Shambhotvam paramantaranga. And I also understand through your grace that you are my antaranga. Being in my antakarana all the time, you are making me joyful. You are entertaining me. You are there in me, amusing me thoroughly to such an extent that my mind is always filled with joy. So, who is that Shiva walking around happily, Ananda Sandra, during Mahapralaya? It is the same Shiva, same Shiva. So, that understanding that Shambho Tvam Paramantaranga iti me chitte smarami anvaham. I will contemplate you as my antaranga all the time, every day. And that antaranga is also very essential, indispensable part of every one of us. But we don't realize it. We run behind the five senses and the mind, which is always going from one thought to another thought, desires. There are so many distractions. You have to control that. Go within. Bhakto bhakti gunavृते mudamrita purne prasanne manah kumbhe samba tavanghi pallavayugam samsthapya samvidvanam Sattvam mantra mudirayan nija shariragara shuddhim vahan punyaham prakatikaromi ruchiram kalyanamapadayam. So the mind is well prepared. Now Shankaracharya is talking about punyaha of this sanctifying, purifying the body. Shariragar. This body is like the house. That should also be purified. How will he do it? What is it? It's a beautiful process. Punyaha. Whenever there is any good occasions, like Vivaha, Upanayana, Griha Pravesha, in all these festivities, first we sanctify, purify the place. purify the objects which will be used in the rituals. And also people are also purified. What do? Kumbha. They bring the kumbha, fill it with the water, and through mantra, they invite all the gods and the rivers into the water. So that kumbha is filled with that sanctified water. On top, we see the mango leaves. And then a coconut will be kept on that. Purna phala. So around the neck of the pot or even full pot will be decorated, tied with thread. And after it is purified through mantra, invoking all the gods in that water will be sprinkled everywhere on the objects, on the people, and on every corner of the house or Kalyana Mantapa. That is purification. When I'm taking this whole Sharira as the house, how shall we do it? How is it sanctified? For that he says, Bhaktaha. Bhakta is the devotee. I am that who has to be purified. Punyaha should take place. Bhakti gunavrite. Bhakta is draped with the thread as bhakti. I told you that pot will be tied with the thread around the neck of the kumbha and also all around the pot. That thread is bhakti. Bhakta is draped with the thread called bhakti. Mudamrita purne. Muda is that joy, bliss, is the amrita which is filled in that pot as water. Bliss is the water which is filled in. Prasanne mana kumbhe, and the prasanna mana, the mind which is happy, pure, nirmala, is made as the kumbha. Got it? The kumbha is the pure, blissful mind. In that, ananda, muda, is filled as the water. And around, it is tied with bhakti as the thread. Tavanghi pallava yugam samsthapya. Your Tavanghi pallava. Samba is one who is with Shakti. So both of them are there. And their feet are the pallava, the mango leaves. So you can well visualize it. The mango leaves are just touching the water. It is not fully immersed. The pallava, the feet are just touching the water as though they are blessing through the mango leaves. Some sthapya, some with phalam. On that, some with knowledge as the coconut is established. That is full Purna Kumbha. With that Sattvam, mantra mudirayan, saying all the mantras, Sattvam, mantram udirayan, reciting the mantras, energizing the water, energizing the whole kumbha. Nija sharira agara shuddhim vahan. And when the whole thing is happening, automatically the whole body feels the shiver. Just visualize, go through it, contemplate. The mind is pure. It is happy already, and that is the kumbha. You are filling the water with bliss, joy as water. And you have tied around bhakti thread. Shivashakti are dipping their feet through the mango leaves. On top is the coconut, which is knowledge. When it is felt thoroughly, the whole body receives that energy and feels that shiver. And thus, punyaham prakati karumi. Ruchiram kalyanam apadayan. Thus, I declare the punyaha is done. That ritual is done. Making the body most auspicious. Kalyanam apadayan. Ruchiram. And also it becomes beautiful. When the purification has taken place through mind, the body is also purified. So punyaha is done. Prakati karomi. I am declaring, I am telling about it. So what else is needed? This is how we go through purifying through breathing. Let us take in Shivashakti through 5 deep breaths. That is what we are doing. Punya, every time we sit for dhyana or to talk about Shivashakti, we need purification. So the best thing is take in Shiva. When that consciousness is filled thoroughly, taking in deep inhalation. When you exhale, what you are giving out is Shakti, which you are seeing, which you are experiencing. And as this keeps going deeper and deeper, we realize inhaling Shiva Shakti and exhaling Shiva Shakti. Everything is Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Shiva Shakti. So automatically the purification of what is inside, what is outside, everything becomes Shiva Shakti. Punyaha is done. And that mantra mudirayan, sattvam mantra mudirayan. It is Panchakshari mantra. Om Namah Shivaya. If we chant that, that also energizes the water, which is the bliss. Amnayam buddhimadarena sumanas sangha samudyanmano manthanam drudha bhaktirajju sahitam kritva mathitva tata somam kalpatarum suparva surabhim chintamani dhimatam nityananda sudham nirantara rama saubhagyamatannvate. Amnaya, now that punyaha is done, bhakta is ready to do charn, that milky ocean within himself. For that, what are all the things he is using? How is he doing it? Amnayam buddhi adarena, with lots of respect, reverence, love. Adarena, amnayam buddhi. Amnayam is all the Vedas are like ambudhi, ocean, the ocean of Vedas, with great respect, reverence, and faith, love towards it. Sumanas Sangaha, all the wise people. Sumanas Sangaha, the group of great souls who have Sumanas, pure mind. Samudyan Mano Manthanam, and they make their pure mind as the Manthana, the rod, to churn. So the mind becomes the rod. Drudha Bhakti Rajju Sahitam, that strong devotion. Devotion here is faith in what we are doing with lots of passion and love towards it. Bhakti. That Drudha Bhakti, strong, focused devotion as the churning rope. Drudha Bhakti Rajju Sahitam Kritva, doing that. Mathitva, after churning, Tatha, afterwards, Somam. Here we can take it as moon as well as Sa Uma, one who is with Uma, that is Samba. Somam Kalpatarum, the wish yielding tree, Kalpatarum. Suparva Surabhim, the celestial cow, Surabhi, wish yielding cow. Chintamani, even wish yielding gem. Dhimatam, all the great wise men. Nityananda Sudham, that nectar which they are churning is Nityananda, the eternal bliss. Nityananda Sudham, Nirantara Rama Saubhagyam. Nirantara means without stopping or without any obstruction. One gets that Rama Saubhagya. When in Pauranic episode, when they churned the milk, Lakshmi was the final emergence from the milky ocean. Rama, Lakshmi. So, Lakshmi, Nirantara Rama Saubhagya, that means Moksha, Moksha Pradayini. Atanvate, they get. So, one who has great reverence to the knowledge given in Vedas, if they churn that ocean, These are all the things which they get. What are they? Shiva is that Soma. Shiva is that Kalpataru. Shiva is that Vishilding Jam. Shiva is that Surabhi. Shiva is that Chintamani as well. Isn't it? When Vedas are churned, what is the outcome? Pure knowledge about consciousness. Isn't it? What is Brahman? Is discussed in Vedas. What are all the different ways of experiencing that Brahman? Where is that Brahman? Within. All this knowledge, when Vedas are churned, which is like ocean, one gets the phala as the consciousness. And that consciousness, Shiva, is manifesting in different ways, like Soma, Kalpataru, Suparva Surabhi, Chintamani, Nityananda Sudha, and Nirantara Rama Saubhagya. That is moksha. Because Lakshmi is Kriya Shakti. After Ichha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti is the final one. It is finally accomplished. We say success, successfully completed. What is that? Final Kriya Shakti. That is Rama. And what is the final of the whole cosmos thing? Liberation from the tackles, liberation from all the things which are holding us, pinning us into this samsara, the cycle of birth and death. Rama. So that Atanvate, all the Dhimatams, all the great wise men, people, sadhakas, bhaktas, they attain that. Atanvate. So, by churning this Vedas, Bhavaroga, Bhava is this existence in this manifested world. Bhavaroga, the disease which comes because of existence in this world, Bhavaroga. When that is completely taken out, Bhavaroga, which is causing so much of turmoil and n number of cycles of birth and deaths, everything will be destroyed. So, one can ask the question, Vedas, if Ishvara is for the whole Jivatmas, Vedas can be understood by only handful of people. What about others who are not having the direct access to Vedas, the knowledge of Vedas? So for that, after Vedas, there are Brahmanas, Aranyaka, and Upanishads, and then Purana, Itihasa, and many scriptures. So one can take the help of any of the things which we are able to understand, because all of them are telling only one truth. It's not that only Veda, one who is studying Veda directly, is the only one who is getting that moksha. It's not that. The essence of Vedas are spreading all over the humanity in different ways. Even in our daily life, it has spilled the essence of Vedas, because the way Sanatana Dharma has helped us to lead our life. So for all these things, if our mind is open, we can recognize it and take the help of it and lead that Vedic essence which they are telling in Vedas. The language might be different. The way of understanding it might vary, but the essence is one and only one, which is consciousness is the source of everything. And that consciousness, when it is manifesting its power as the whole universe, there is multiplicity, which is also nothing but the sport and game of that Shiva, who is activated consciousness, because he is in union with Shivashakti. So, in what all ways we can understand this essence, it is up to us. So, we can't say that because we are not having the direct connection with Vedas, we will not be the right authorized person to expect moksha. No, it is for everyone of us. So Mahatmas like Shankaracharya, they have given us Lahari, Shivanandalahari, Lalita Sahasranama. There are n number of scriptures which are all telling us so beautifully, guiding us. We have to take the help of that. For that, we have to be thankful to Shankaracharya, who is leading us in such a beautiful way. Shivashakti, Shivashakti, Shivashakti. Shivashakti, Shivashakti, Shivashakti. Shivashakti, Shivashakti, Shivashakti. Shivashakti, Shivashakti, Shivashakti. Shivashakti, Shivashakti, Shivashakti.